Can you hear us now?
Hello, hello, hello. Any better? Testing 1, 2. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
We'll get it one day, right? Like,
someday. So we were thinking we could today do like general engineering Q&A. So talk about stuff like any tech used on Stonehearth, game development, getting into game development if that's something you're interested from engineering perspective. Just general tech used on Stonehearth, what we've been working on. And if we kind of run out of questions, we have a few bugs I think we could work on.
Yeah.
So, Angelo, what have you been working on recently?
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working on like the auto test framework and trying to get that to be more reliable. I don't know if anybody out there's seen it, but we have a series of tests that we run the game, like automatic tests that we run the game through before we push changes. So like if a change has made like some egregious like error, like, then we'll be able to catch it before sending that change out to people. Some of the tests are a bit flaky, like they'll pass most of the time, but then sometimes they fail, and that's pretty annoying. So just been working through that.
It's somewhat unfortunate. I mean, games have like so much interactions when you're like testing the integration. Like I remember one of the tests you were talking about is like it was like a click was being consumed, so it's trying to test like placing an item.
Yeah, so there was something was happening out of order. Like it was supposed to like select an entity, then wait for the UI to show up, and then click on the UI, and then place an item inside the world. So like a hard thing will go and like pick up the bed from the stockpile, then place it, and then once that's placed, it will like place it again, and it'll move it towards like from like 00 to 88, right? It would just try and get two hearthlings to collaborate with moving a bed around.
Right.
And what is currently still happening, I think, is sometimes the click is fired before the UI is rendered. So then the click is consumed, and then the UI shows up. And
right.
That happens with all of like the placement tests, but it happens very rarely.
Yeah.
And what makes it more annoying. Like.
Yeah. Because, obviously testing is like something we feel pretty strongly about, and it helps us try and keep our quality of code very high by knowing like when we're making a new feature or when we're changing code, we're able to run these tests and basically be like, we're testing these specific features, often things that had a bug before. A lot of times we'll write these auto tests after seeing a bug on the forum or a bug that we personally see. So we'll create one of these auto tests to basically run a section of the game that is problematic, and then we'll usually at least the way that I do it is I set it up so that it will be failing, like it's checking like,
and then you fix it, and then it'll pass.
Yeah.
Like once you fixed it. Yeah.
And so so it's great that you're doing that, because it just helps us keep our code quality high and lets us know that bugs that we fixed before hopefully won't regress and show up again. But that type of DevOps sort of build environment.
Yeah, I've been working with the backend stuff a bit too, like the Bamboo stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff. It's super fun, like, to get into, at least from my experience. But then, like, it's easy to get stuck in a rabbit hole and then be like, I regret ever taking this.
I've done that a few times so far this sprint. How about you? What have you been working on?
So I've mostly been working with Chris. I think he streamed maybe last week or a few weeks ago, and he was showing off some of the room UI. So I've been working on kind of the stuff not related to room, or I guess kind of. It's like all of what we call like fixtures, which now kind of include furniture.
Right.
So one of
like
the
things that can be affixed to like surfaces.
Yeah,
right? Like
which even
building surfaces.
Yeah, even includes like you said, building surfaces. So even like floors and stuff. Because before what we were doing was we would differentiate between like the furniture and like a door, and we would call doors fixtures because they like affix to something. But even though chairs were like going in, like all furniture, since they were, you know, essentially freestanding, they could be placed anywhere. But with how Chris has been developing the new building UI, it's doing like all these like super great dependency checks and figuring out like what can be done and in what order. So all these types of things like furnitures and doors and all of this type of stuff, they don't actually need to be separated out. They can be treated as like, I'm a chunk of a thing, and if I'm like in the way of something, like the Hearthlings can figure out like where they need to place it. So the benefit of this is you get kind of a unified system of placing things in the building UI. And Hearthlings will be able to more intelligently determine the dependencies and the ordering of placing things.
So it's just like any object?
Yeah, basically. Cool. Basically, it just breaks down all the voxels into like a chunk and is like, what are the dependencies? Are you actually
analyzing the cubicle things that are coming in to generate like a bounding box?
Either like the region collision shape, or there is a like bounds on the old fixture components. So there's a little bit of differentiation.
Are the bounds calculated then?
They are in the JSON of the thing. So it's in there. We have to do a little bit of stuff relating to like the normal and the rotation and all that type of fun geometry type stuff. But it's good to get it more uniform because we'll be able to have more intelligent Hearthlings in a more unified building system, which means we'll be able to do more with it. Necromancer.
Yeah. Okay, so hey, Andrielvox. Yeah, the Necromancer mod was fun. I still haven't put that up, but I think I'm going to be working on that soon, like sort of a separate Git repo for like a starter class mod.
Yeah.
I'm glad you found it useful, it looks like.
Will there be more races in Stonehearth? So, probably. I think that there was a... like
the dwarves, right?
Either the dwarves or in lore, there's like a Northern Alliance, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not super... I don't completely remember like the Kickstarter campaign. I'm sure...
Yeah, it was Northern Alliance and dwarves, I think, are the outstanding now.
Yeah, so, I mean, if they're in the Kickstarter, it's probably on the roadmap. I should probably actually know this, but... yeah, I think the focus on, like, working on another race versus like getting the game good. Since we've proven out that you can have multiple races in the game. I think the focus is more on gameplay and the different systems and fixing bugs. Because if we have like, you know, outstanding issues and then we add another race on it, it's like the game will still have those issues.
Yeah.
So it's better to have like a solid foundation before generating a ton of more content.
Good question, Mally. What is the mod? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's always that Twitch lag though.
Yeah. It just takes a little time. I think we have to be like more patient with the call and the response. Yeah, that's definitely. I don't think our overall game engine is like super complicated. Like it's fairly straightforward. Aside from there's a few places that is like a little bit hairy.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Overall, I would say our code base is pretty clean and it's pretty easy to grok. It's just that there's kind of a lot of sections of it. So I think all of the devs have a good founding in like where stuff is. There might be some people on the team who are certainly more experienced with that type of stuff, with like AI or building or water or like anything like that. But all of us can kind of work our way around and we would be able to tackle any issue. Some people faster than others, but it is the game is kind of big.
Oh, like in the future. Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's our focus for right now.
Yeah. Any questions from the stream about anything we're working on now, general engineering, game development or game industry stuff?
Yeah, because if not, we can just jump into some code too.
Yeah, we can absolutely do
Or
that.
we can try.
Yeah, we can try jumping into code. We will jump in. We might not survive. Yeah, do you want to pull up a editor and just kind of start? How do you guys get into the game industry? Do you want to?
That is a very long story. I guess like I just always was interested in making games, and yeah, just tried to answer that question, like how do you make a game? Like even when I was a kid, like how do you make a game? And I got Game Maker and I was making some stuff, and I guess eventually just did it so long that I ended up in the game industry. Like I don't know, like.
Yeah, I know for me, I always had, like, as a kid, I was always trying to get into games as well. Like, I was coding a lot of, like, go-tos in BASIC. Like, basically...
Yeah, actually my first language was BASIC.
Yeah, just, like, choose your own adventures. I remember making some, like, choose your own adventure about, like, Christmas and, like, trying to find Santa or something when I was a real young kid. I
made one of those things where it's like, oh, you move north, like, press N or, like, whatever. And, like, Text adventure, yeah.
And then I actually worked in just the, like, I worked in startups. I worked in, like, enterprise software. I worked for the government doing weather software. I always was interested in games, but where I came from, I'm from Nebraska. There wasn't a huge game dev community there, so I was always kind of working on my own hobby stuff, doing game jams. Yeah. When I came out here, I worked with a bunch of people. I really enjoyed working with enterprise software type stuff, and I just kind of flirted around with the idea of games, but wasn't really until Riot that I saw like the culture and the team and Stonehearth, a game that I love, that I decided to make the dive. It's been pretty fun ever since.
Nice. Looks like we got a few questions here. Angelo, how are you doing with Darkness? I haven't gone back to that prototype, but we're just did like a proof of concept, so we know now that we can do that when we come to it, but right now we're focusing on other things.
Do we have telemetry to help us when finding bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we use a lot of debugging. We primarily, like for client side, like gameplay code, we tend to use this debugger called Dakota, which lets us navigate, do all the typical debugging stuff. You get to see your stack trace, you get to see values of stuff. I know one of our engineers, Max, he found a bug that just using Dakota showed, because Dakota was like, hey, something's up here, that we like was fine in the like when you ran the game standalone. So pretty much that. We don't have a ton of other tools. We have like performance monitoring. We use VTune and Visual Studio for some of the C++ stuff. Otherwise, it's kind of...
we also rely on the forums a lot.
Yeah, we rely a lot on the forums. Yeah. Let's see. Do you have pictures on the Discord of the Angelo Vox? Adding custom hair models, colored to Hearthlings, more personalized. That sounds awesome.
What is this one? So my question would be if there's a way to figure out paths to find this function. Oh, what is this?
How to create mods. I found this. Renewable resource node.
I can find them. I don't know actually. In Berrybush, but I couldn't find the manifest of Stonehearth. Actually, is Linda on the stream? She might be able to answer that one.
Yeah, we could always search around for that text and see if it comes up anywhere.
Yeah, we can do that. It's probably like a mix-in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Baby steps.
That'd be cool. Yeah, Hemiso writing a tutorial, putting on YouTube.
Oh, hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda. So Hamisu is asking about he was seen a renewable resource node in the berry bush, and he was wondering about was it the specific manifest for renewable resources?
Yeah, like where it was found.
Yeah. Linda, if you know, if that sounds familiar to you, I guess let us know. Otherwise, we might try grepping through our code base and take a look.
Yeah, actually, I can speak to this multiplayer comment a little bit. I recently was looking through some multiplayer stuff and doing some prototyping, and it works. Even though like there were like a couple of things I had to do to get it working, because obviously like the game has been working single player for a long time. It was really a pretty smooth getting like a proof of concept together so we can do some testing. I think the thing there is like more around like questions about gameplay and other things that have yet to be resolved.
Yeah, and even if we do like resolve issues on gameplay, there's still all the typical stuff like user authentication, like where is stuff hosted, like how do you connect to games, like I mean, you've brought all this stuff up before, but there's like a lot around multiplayer that is beyond just like, oh, let's get a thing where we can like send information between each other.
Let's see.
Problem with Shed?
Bugs out and some campaign changes. Interesting. If Max is on the stream, he can probably talk about that. He's been recently working on Shed around the campaign editor and things like that.
The encounter system is one of the more hairier portions of our code base, and it's probably I don't think I've actually touched it at all. I know you probably looked at it.
I looked at it a bit. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's definitely usable.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Can't load the Shed if interesting. Maybe there's some invalid JSON or something. I'm not sure, Bruno.
Linda answered the renewable resource manifest is actually the renewable resource component, which would be in the actual Lua. It wouldn't be like a JSON file. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. No problem, Togus.
Good question.
Let's see. Do we have? Oh, what's going on here?
Looks like
Can I just close that?
Probably. House template. Can you save a temp?
I'll just save it. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the desktop.
Sounds good. Hopefully.
I don't know.
If somebody needs it.
What state was this in before? Like, did you set up the?
I didn't open Sublime Text.
Oh. Let's see. Where? Oh. This is us, right? Okay.
Yep. Will you move the Sublime?
Sorry. I always do that.
If we had a tiling window manager, we're on.
All right.
Future house code. Oh no. It's all spoiled. These leaks.
All right. Seems good. All right. What did we want to look at?
Well, I think Linda pointed Hamisu towards the
that's true.
Renewable resource component.
Do you want to just start looking at some bugs?
Sure. You want to do the input validation stuff?
Yeah, let's try it out. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Make run. Whoops.
Oh, I think I full screened it when I was running.
That's fine. Thanks to Max, we have.
Yeah, we can switch back and forth. Yeah, hello, Dariet. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that.
I think it's Der Diet.
Der Diet?
Der Diet. Yeah.
You can correct us.
Okay.
Yeah. We're pretty happy too about the building refactor as well. I know a big portion that spurred it on was when we were at PAX East, and Chris and everybody else was showing it off, and lots of people who were new to it would start building, and they'd be like, oh, I want to build my own thing, and then they'd want to build like an interior wall, or they'd have something, and then they'd be like, oh, I want to delete sections of this, and it just was super painful because like we have kind of like Stockholm syndrome in the fact that we've gotten used to like the slab tool and like how to do stuff pretty quickly or relatively quickly. I can't do anything fast, but so that pain point was really what like caused us to really examine at what point do we need to refactor building, and now is a great time. We're used to adding new things, dev team.
I think it's a balance. Like we're always trying to debug some stuff, but we got to keep moving forward on features. So like we schedule like mostly like feature work, but then we've got like some percentage of the work is like
we don't actually formalize it, but like certainly right now, like the 0.5 alpha we're doing right now, we're trying to focus on a lot of quality of life and bug killing type stuff, while a few of us are working on different prototypes and building and all kind of bigger picture stuff that will take longer than an alpha. And in the meantime, we're able to tackle kind of smaller but equally as important quality of life issues. Spell it funny, digit. Sounds good. Let's see. Until candle dark.
Okay. So let's make some flower pot. Well, let's see. Let's make some of these tiki torches maybe. Wooden door. Yeah, wooden door seems good. Or beds.
Yeah.
Okay. Beds? No, doors.
Doors are good.
Doors, okay. So right now, if you, I'm going to just go into this like input validation bug. Right now, if you craft one door, it shows up one wooden door. If you craft, if you press these buttons, it will like step up by one at a time, and that was weird. It went to 30, but like I think this will max out at 99. I think we can just type that and it'll stop.
Yeah, we have a bunch of mods.
Yeah, 25 error message. Tubedis, do you Tubedis, do you have any mods installed? Or?
If you're seeing a lot of error messages, and maybe you've done this, I don't know. I would suggest going on to our discourse on stonehearth.net and uploading your save file, because what we'll do is we'll download it and we'll open it and see the errors.
Yeah, like what the cause is and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll put those into our like our to-do list basically, and we'll start working on those. And if it's not like if it's something we can just tell you to help fix, that also sometimes happens. So yeah, you're saying
right.
So the UI limits you from clicking like past 99 on those little arrows.
Right, but it doesn't limit you from like typing in 100 here. So if you type in 100 and hit craft, a 100 will show up here, a 100 wooden door, which probably we should fix.
Yeah.
It's not like a huge bug, but there's some funny things that can happen. You can start making 1.8 doors.
I still think that's funny.
And when they start crafting this, they'll make 2 doors, and then negative 0.2 doors will remain in the
crafter menu.
Crafter menu. So let's check that out.
Do you have a? Oh yeah, you loaded emoji doors. Yeah.
Let's try that. Fire emoji.
Oh, it actually won't let you.
It won't let you put that. So it won't
tyranny?
it won't let you put letters because it's validating it as a number. But since numbers can contain E, you can put E, and you can put like -1 E 10 and craft. But that gets validated. But you can say 1 E10, and that would be a pretty big number.
Angelo Vox, yeah.
Negative 0.2 doors cubed.
Angelo Vox is asking if anybody on Team Stonehearth playtest mods. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like Max says, we used it in a bunch of prototypes. I know we were playing the Archipelago mod quite a bit. A lot of us use like the Locks of Many Hair or Locks of Many Color. So yeah, we definitely do use mods. Yeah.
Hey, X-Pain.
Hello.
So
lots of doors. Way too many doors.
Let's try something else. Let's try hex. Does that work? Nope. Ah, too bad. What's the largest number we can put in here?
That's a good question.
So 1 E 9999999. Nope. 1 E 20. That's pretty big.
Hyrule Symbol. What are you? You heard from Weiss changing an entity's faction. What about changing the entity's faction? You can basically call a method on an entity.
Oh yeah, like last time when we did the Necromancer mod,
Oh.
we changed not the faction, like the. Did we change the faction?
It's like whether or not they're hostile to the player
Yeah.
or not.
We made the skeleton like on your side.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Will there be any mods that can break walls and houses? I think so.
Hopefully, because you're able to kind of just turtle, which is like not a fun strategy. So being able to have.
Oh, interesting. At 3, it decides to do this. 30.
1E plus. Oh.
That's a lot of doors.
Yep. So yeah, being able to have enemies circumnavigate walls either by breaking through them, climbing over them, burrowing beneath them, definitely would add to the overall gameplay and the like survivability nature of the game.
50. Oh, skeleton mercenary guards. That'd be pretty cool. 60. Oh. And the game crashes.
Very nice.
Nice.
So that is a good argument for why we should be doing input validation.
And the error says segmentation fault. Not sure why it's doing that because we put a big number in the UI.
Yeah.
But let's see what we can do about that.
Drag the window, please. Thank you. Would we ever see diplomacy with the goblins?
I don't know about with the goblins, but I'd really love to see diplomacy.
I would like to see, yeah. I would love to see it with the goblins. I think the goblins are the secret heroes of Stonehearth. But yeah, I would like for there to be some type of system of being able to negotiate with factions.
Like a political menu, and you see like the different factions and like how they are interacting.
Yeah.
It's like an Age of Empires, the tribute menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they send people gold, so they don't like fight you or whatever.
Yeah. Often in these kinds of games, like the relationship not only between like members within your faction, but you with other factions is something that I certainly love. So it's a facet of gameplay that I would love to include if it works well with all of our other systems, or maybe with the Bunny Clan. Yeah. We already have Ogo becomes neutral when he goes near the wind chimes. Interesting.
Yeah, it's part of the quest, right?
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What if we do 99.1? Nope.
It's only like...
Do we do 98.1? That works.
Interesting.
Weird. All right, let's open up that code. Workshop. JavaScript. Show workshop. Yeah.
Kingdoms and Castles looks really awesome. I haven't taken time to really sit down and play it. I've been trying to make my way through Pyre recently, which is a lot of fun. Kingdoms and Castles are definitely on our radar. I think I saw Richard playing it a couple days ago. It looks really pretty. I really love I know it's starting to become kind of a trend to do the whole like low poly thing, but that game utilizes it super well. It has a lot of very simple shapes that it just replicates over and over, and it's able to be very like evocative of like, you know, a like Borderlands or a Pioneer Frontier that looks very, to me it looks very naturalistic and cute.
So let's see. Maintain.
Couldn't you simple lock the input using HTML5 attributes?
So we are using HTML5 attributes here, if that's what you mean. Like type number, value 1, min 1, max 99. The problem is what we're doing in the JavaScript is just grabbing the value, which doesn't validate it. It just grabs whatever value's in there.
Yeah, we're like that input field that we're using isn't like actually a for.
Yeah, it's not being submitted. It's just an input field that's sitting there.
And so like when you end up when you're pressing the button, we're actually like grabbing the text from there.
So let's see. Hello.
Hello.
Star Eagle Hunter. Okay, I was like, Straggle? Straggle was
Yeah.
Star Eagle Hunter.
I'm so bad at like...
Yeah, reading the handles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Boy Doodle. Oh, he was here before me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
More messages below. Okay, there we go. Yep.
Let's see. So we can either submit this input field or check if it's valid, and then say if it's not valid, just set it back to a default number. What do you think?
What implications would submitting it have? We'd have to actually use it. We'd actually have to use forms, right?
I think you can call submit on just the input. Can put.
How long until we get an innkeeper job or bartender? Right now we're not really looking at like expanding class content. I think we're more looking at refining the like systems that interact with classes and the things they work on and the economy and that all of that type of stuff. So I don't think we want to add another class if we're going to be reworking the interconnectivity between our subsystems. So I think we're going to focus on fixing that before many other classes come. However, making one in a mod certainly would be a fun thing to see.
Oh yeah, validator. This is something we were looking at.
Yeah. What game engine do we use? So the back render engine is this thing called Horde 3D. We forked off of it a couple of years ago, certainly before either of us got here. So that's kind of the back end.
We can try that. Step equals 1. Sorry, go on.
So it's kind of a custom engine. The whole game engine that we're using. We use Horde 3D for the rendering. We've built on top of it. We use Lua for the gameplay code. We use Lua Bind to integrate the two, and we embed Chromium for our UI. And any tips for trying to learn game programming in C#, C++, etc.?
Yes, pick a project that you want to do that's small, and I think if you pick a project like, oh, I'm going to make Pong, right? Like, then you have sort of structure to like what kind of questions you should ask. Like, how do I draw something to the screen? Like, how do I take input? Like,
yeah.
And because sitting down and saying like, oh, how do I learn C++ or how do I learn C#? It's too big to know all of it. It's more about the learning how to, I guess, look up what you need to know and apply it, and just like doing that over and over again.
Right. Yeah. It's very. You definitely want to start small. I think the advice is always start small, then like reduce that like tenfold, and then that will be your start project. So if you look around like a lot of game development forums like Reddit or Game Dev Stack Exchange or GameDev.net, you see a lot of people who are beginners and they're like, I want to make a World of Warcraft or I want to make a Grand Theft Auto. Like Angelo said, Pong is a very good start. Even just moving a box through a maze, like getting a thing from a start to an end point, and that says a winner is you when you get to the end, is a very good place to start. As it broke. In response to like language choice, I would say, like, if you have a friend who knows a particular language, use it. You use whatever they do. Use whatever you can get help and advice on. I'm not the kind of person who actually believes the statement like, oh, once you learn a lot of languages, it's super easy because they're all the same. Because there are crazy languages out there. Like, when you're using like general procedural, like pseudo object-oriented or object-oriented languages, a lot of them
most
are
of the
same.
ones you'll run into, though, it's like, oh, okay, there's some differences, but
none of the fun ones. But I think the point that I was getting at is that language choice isn't super important, particularly when you're starting out. Like, learning how to think like a programmer is a little bit more of an important issue. And so it's best to pick whatever you have the most resources with, be it somebody who can help you, or like a forum you can go to, or a book that you may have. So I would say, just pick a language that's easy to get up and running. Pick a very small project, something you feel passionate about but very small in scope, and then just work from there and ask a lot of questions.
So step 1 didn't actually work, unfortunately.
Oh.
I think it's because it's just not applying the validation. Like, it probably does work if we had it in a form.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what happens if I just call submit on this element over here. Let me grab that selector. Or make nums.
Jumping from Delphi to Java. Yeah, that would be pretty difficult.
Okay. All right, let's so this is our Chrome debug tools here. The UI is Chrome embedded framework, so it's basically just Chrome that's rendered off screen, and then we take the texture and we put it over the game, which is great because we have all of the benefits of like web development, but it's also terrible because we have all the benefits of web development. So,
yeah.
One of the great parts is the debugger. So we're gonna like grab this selector and just see if we can call submit. See what happens. Oh, it's not a function. Is that? Oh, that was a function.
What did you change there?
Oh, I was like indexing I
Oh.
don't know.
You're returning an element out of the selector?
Yeah. Seems that didn't do anything either. I think there's the check valid. Let's try that. False. Okay, that's starting.
Hi, Coaster Paul.
Let's change that.
Not really too behind. We're mostly doing engineering Q&A, and we're working on input validation on the crafter menu.
Right, because right now you can say like 1.2 and click craft, and then you'll have 1.2 doors, and then you'll end up with like negative.
And if you do like really crazy values, it can potentially crash the game.
So that seems to be working, the validity. Let me check over here. Input type. I guess it's not a submit type, so you can't submit it.
Oh. That'd be a problem.
Yep. Let's see. I want to do, like, we could go and check and do all this stuff, but I want to see if there's like an easier way where we're just like, oh yeah, we were just missing something, so I'm going to look up some documentation.
Yeah, looking up docs is like
what we do all day.
It's probably the most important skill. Like being able to read code, I think as an engineer, is way more important than being able to write it. Good night. Sleep well.
Force validity.
Okay. Form validation without submitting.
Some nice Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow is definitely a spot you want to become acquainted with when doing any type of programming.
Yeah, this is what this person is saying, to check for the submit button in the form and click it.
Right.
But we don't have a submit button and we don't have a form. We just have like the craft button, and we're responding to an action and looking for the text value.
Yeah.
What should be the thing that happens when you click it and it's invalid? Should I just set it to 1?
Probably. It should either set it to 1 or throw it out.
And go back to what? Like the previous, the max value?
Just empty. Like an empty field.
What?
Or you mean
no,
like when
this,
you submit.
So if I wanted to submit.
And you want it to actually go over.
Like.
Well, we could prevent
it from submitting? That
yeah.
would be weird. 1 is the default, so, okay, but where would we get that default? From the field itself, I guess.
Yeah.
Can we see where that is? So value 1. Oh, but that's gonna change.
Well, the min won't change, right? You could say like the min is the default. It's kind of conflating like the responsibility of that attribute, but
I think we can set a default value in input fields.
How many devs are on stream right now? A couple?
I think Mally, Linda, Max, you, me.
I think Morgan said something earlier on in chat. Stephanie's often on, so anywhere between 4 to 6 or 7.
Unity documentation. Nope.
Not what you want. W3 schools. They've gotten better over the years.
MDN. Go to MDN.
Yeah.
Okay. There should be a default. Let me check.
For it. Really? Yeah, so right now we're doing the...
Oh, it's called placeholder.
Okay. We're
Do
doing
we
the...
want a placeholder? We want to add placeholder. Anyway, go on.
We're doing the fun bit of just searching around for documentation. It's... Specifically today... Mally's streaming next week. That'll be fun.
Can we do that? Let's...
Only one way to find out.
Placeholder, and we'll set that to
Well, that will... Won't that...
40.
Like, that will then set the value, won't it?
I think... Let's find out.
Reload.
Paused in debugger.
You could just add some custom data default attribute. Yeah, we could do that. Stephanie does the Desktop Tuesdays. Yep.
Whoa.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Oh, well, I could just set it anyway. Yeah, I guess we'd have some custom data and the value. I just wanted to have one.
Yeah, one place to be the, like, authority.
Yeah, because then we got to copy it twice.
Trains in the background. Yeah, we're right by a Caltrain station. Do you take the Caltrain? I don't know. No. You live pretty close by, right?
Yeah.
I live up in San Francisco, so my commute is a little long.
Wait,
Stone Monkey, hello?
Step 1. I think step 1 might be default. Can we get... Yeah.
Okay, so you're send a placeholder, send a value.
Yeah, I'm going to set that, and then I guess here we'll grab this. This. And...
Can we call validate on that?
Well, yeah, let's just try that real quick here. So yeah, before no, I tried that.
Yeah.
So there's this check validity, but can we do this with val? Nope, because that's here. There must be a way.
Get value of elements. Let's call an empty collection, returns undefined, which is fun.
Oh, it's on a collection.
One and a half hours. Yeah, that commute is not fun. Yeah, my commute's about an hour. So not as bad as Brooklyn to Manhattan. I really like the public transport system in New York. I've never actually lived there, so I get to experience it as a tourist, so maybe I don't like use it in hate, as they say, but I always enjoyed it. San Francisco's public transportation, the Bay Area, it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, Bruno, you're right. I want to avoid putting an on-key press.
Yeah, that's the more like having to manage like input state like that is something I would prefer avoiding. Like the less state management you have.
Yeah, and we could also do this kind of submit trick where we actually do wrap it in a form and like let it.
Yeah.
But
I would just worry. Yeah.
What I'm hoping I can do is just grab this ahead of time and say like var make field or make input, whatever it is, and grab that, and then like check if it's valid. So something like this, where you check if it's valid, and then if it's not, then we would like set the value to whatever. Actually, how do I set this value? Attribute. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Where are we at in the problem? Stepped away for a bit. Probably about where you left. We've been kind of messing around with the jQuery API, like figuring out what we can do and what we can't with this value. Trying to not get trying to get a solution that's not too hacky.
Yeah, I think we've landed on a pretty hacky solution, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I mean that's JavaScript.
I want to set the like this one is getting, I think, a collection.
Yeah.
And I want.
You want to set the value of the first value of it?
I want to get the first one and then check the validity of that field. And then can I just do like dot value equals? Does that?
What is the type of make field? It's JavaScript, so it could be.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. Can I do this? Yes, I can do that. Yeah, okay, so I'll just do that. And can I do dot placeholder?
Probably.
Yep.
Not. Oh.
Okay, so
that's
So we actually
because it's on the right.
We can do this. So I don't want to copy this around. We should probably like move this to like some like validator function somewhere. But like, okay, for the stream we'll just put it here.
Yeah, we have like 6 minutes left.
Okay.
Will bigger mods like Archipelago ever be integrated into the base game? Probably not. We probably, when somebody's developing a mod and they're putting their time and creativity into it, I think it's best if they continue to kind of management them and the community and whatever else.
So
I'm not gonna say never, but I don't think we've ever thought about like pulling it in. We have had mods that were kind of like blessed with certain particular releases, like the Candle Dark and the Frost Feast and all of those really awesome mods. But I don't feel like, or I don't foresee us like taking a mod wholesale and putting it into the game engine. I'm not gonna say that won't happen, but it's unlikely in my mind. Yeah, exactly. Mods are super easy to get on the client side and be able to put them into the game. So
okay. Well,
I shouldn't comment on anything legal. I don't know what I'm talking about ever.
Okay. So let's see this one. Okay, so if you do it at 100 though, like it's gonna be 1. So maybe we should.
Well, we set the max in there, right?
Oh no, and then the placeholder thing like.
We'll set it. Oh, it does that thing.
Well, we can just use it just like what somebody said.
Try
that, right?
Set it.
So if we did like 44, it's gonna stay at 44. So it's working ish. But
Try.
I wouldn't use that solution. I think I would like use another like.
Will you
put the validator somewhere else?
Yeah. Will you try something for me real quick and just get rid of placeholder?
Yeah.
And just like set it, because then it'll just be set to an actual value.
You mean like just change this to 1?
Yeah. It could be like a data field or min or whatever.
You want to do a data field? Can we just access like some data thing?
Like data default or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, stream being one mod is... that's why Angelo and I did the stream together back to back with the Necromancer mod, because that was just like too big to be able to handle in one. So longer streams are fun because you get to work on a bigger project, but sometimes like figuring out like good bite-sized chunks for a stream is like it's work in and of itself. Like to be able to just find something that you can talk about, kind of work on, that seems interesting.
Oh, that broke.
Oh,
that's weird.
You just set it to dot. Oh,
because it's probably not a. It's whoops.
Because you don't actually have that field, right?
Yeah. What's dehydrate? Oh, that's a different bug. All right, let's just switch that to 1. And yeah, I'm sure there's a way to do that. Like dot attributes or something. There's probably like an attributes thing. Oh, there's some breakpoints in here or something. I don't know.
Did we set those like on just clicking around? Or?
I don't know. I think there's some mod enabled on this computer.
Oh. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of mods enabled on this computer.
Like deactivate breakpoints. Yeah. Okay. This one, 1. Big number, 1.
Okay.
99. Okay. So
yeah, we would.
It's on its way.
Yeah, we would probably, like you said, want to like pull that out into its own validation thing.
Yeah.
We would want
also do more research.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I saw there was like a jQuery plugin that does like validation. I don't know, but or yeah, like you said, pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Say like this is how we validate input field, and then like call that, because you see the code we have where we just copy pasted this pattern twice. It's probably not good practice. We would probably just have a function that we can call that we can pass the field we want, and then it would pass a default, or it would get it from the data field if possible.
The Necromancer back-to-back was
someone died?
It looked like it. Oh, people are probably just starving.
We're terrible.
We did 2 streams together. I'm not sure if we actually started Necromancer on stream.
We did, yeah.
On the first one?
Oh no, did we do that in one?
I think the first one we just were like, how does modding like work?
Yeah.
Like,
we did Necromancer in the second stream.
Yeah, so I guess
but it was very bare bones, right? Like,
yeah.
We just made one class, and then when it was attacking, like it would spawn
spawn
a skeleton.
It would be OP.
It copy pasted the spawn enemy or spawn mob from the mini world or micro world. Yeah, micro.
Yeah. Someone dead.
Alright.
So yeah, I guess it's more appropriate to say we did a mod stream back to back, where the first one was learning how we would tackle Necromancer, and then the second one was actually doing it.
They really love crafting in this town.
Oh, Stonelands.
Oh no,
Stonelands wilding out. Yeah, look at them thrash. Those are some real cool Stonelings. They chatted the person to death.
Uh-oh. Let's set resource.
Yeah, but at least we now know how to validate the input fields.
No. Is that not how you do it?
Oh, what'd you do?
Set resource?
Set attribute.
Oh.
Set underscore yeah. Set attribute or set adder. I think adder. Oh, do you have debug tools turned on?
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's set resource.
Yeah, already dead.
R.I.P. No, I can rescue.
You gotta learn to say goodbye. You gotta.
He's gonna be rescued. Don't worry about it.
He's a goner. But yeah, so we figured out how to properly for some definition of properly.
Figured out how to validate the input at some point.
Yeah. So. Yeah, do a little bit more research. Figure out if there's any implications in our solution. Probably pull it out and put it as something you can call to validate different fields.
Because we want to be able to validate all of the input fields, not just on a case by case basis too.
Yeah.
Or even if we do have to do something case by case, we don't want to copy paste that code everywhere.
Yeah. Play around with it. A Necro mod you're working on, if you post it to Discourse, we could always take a look.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Oh, you're working on one too? Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Engineer, what do we do?
It wasn't me. Dehydration component.
Is that called a think?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, those monsters?
Oh. No, I think she's saying those monsters.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, looks like it's 7. So yeah, we did a little bit of validation work. Thanks for coming to the stream, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time. We certainly did. Yeah, I think Mally said he was next week, so hopefully some sweet animations or any other really cool looking stuff he's been working on. All right, anything else?
Yeah, I think tomorrow I'll work on the Necromancer mod stuff and
yeah,
hopefully get that posted.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All
Cafe
right.
mod, need liquid refreshment. Oh. Yeah. That's always the problem with like turning on a billion mods. Like it's super fun, but then like we get a bug and it's like,
Where'd it come from?
yeah. Usually it's our stuff, but sometimes it's just the interaction of the mods.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Thanks for coming. Go ahead.